All right, so we're going to talk about informational text and really focus in on why our students need to know it. 85 to 95% of most of what our students read is going to be informational text because that is what we encounter the most in our daily lives. 95% of what's on the internet is informational text. And 80% of workplace reading is informational text. And so we've really got a lot of reading to do in an informational text way of doing things. So what is it? What is informational text? Informational text is written for a broad audience, made to be to just give out some information. We use informational text to tell history, to talk about science is generally informational text, and a lot of graphs are used inside of informational text. And so being able to understand what a graph does and how a graph works is also very important. Informational text is journalism, is essays, is opinion pieces and speeches. Those type of informational texts are written by people to persuade people to go a certain way. We also have historical and scientific journals where information is findings are presented, and journalism produces something for the news. And it comes in many forms. It can come in the form of a textbook. It can come in the form of newspapers and websites, magazines, and graphic design, or graphic infographics. And so, all the time, it's not always the same across the board. Informational text, has a specific purpose, and what the author's trying to convey in a way that they're trying to convey it will dictate how they organize and present their materials. So we need to expose our students to a wide variety of informational text, written in formal and informal styles. We are also need our students to write as much as possible. The more they write, the better off they'll be after reading. It helps with comprehension in great detail. The majority of the time, they're going to be writing and working on informational text in the workplace. And so how do you, what ways does informational text come across to us in the workplace? It comes through the reports and manuals and guides are written generally by someone else, probably someone in a position of authority telling you how to do something. And then you also have resumes and letters and memos that are written probably more laterally by colleagues, by customers, by maybe a supervisor telling you how to do something. Or if you're applying for a job or part of a hiring process, you'll be receiving resumes. And so these things are coming at you all the time. And so it's important that we have our students be able to understand how to decipher them, and that's what we'll be getting to as the weeks go on. Workplace communication is very important. We're going to talk about email quite a bit as the days and the weeks go on, how to write emails, how to make them informative and to the point. And that's also, the past in the memos. We used to have, when I was teaching in public schools, we were still using memos to communicate a lot of the time. So I'd go to my box and pick up my memo, and then I would read the directive of whoever wrote the memo. And so, I'm sure that those things still go on, and that's what emails are generally used for today. And instructions, we're going to be guided on how to do our job. And generally those guides are going to be written down. And so, it's real important that our students know, are they getting, a sequence of tasks that they're to perform, or are they comparing two ways of doing something and then going to have to decide to use this method for this problem and that method for that problem. And so it's real important for them to understand the difference between the two types of informational text, which we will continue to get into as the weeks go on. And so that's informational text in a nutshell. Really written for a broad audience, made to just hand out information in a organized fashion, and across the board, probably the most read type of text out there. All right. Thank you.